Welcome to another part of Cyclone Circus. This time we're going to be going through another level, but first we must unlock some characters by going for the last two levels as Dasha, who is the Russian in this game. That's about the only thing I can really tell you there. She's also a woman, so, you know, get ready to see them try to sexualize her a little bit as well. But yeah, Dasha is actually one of the better characters in this game, when it comes to her tricks at least, which you're gonna need. Her flight, obviously they all suck, but she has a really good landing special trick. In that this landing special trick allows her to do one of the quickest of their tricks. Basically, it will last like a few seconds, maybe like 2 or 3 seconds compared to like the 4 seconds they're supposed to take or what have you. And because of that, you can basically abuse it in order to refill your bar completely, even refill your orange bar completely, multiple times to get what you want from speed boosts and all. And they are all just front flips. All of the fastest tricks, all of the fastest special tricks when it comes to lands, which is the fastest, it's essentially just do a front flip. Now, one of them does multiple front flips at once, but it mainly is, well, another one does a barrel roll, but it mainly is just do a flip. So yeah, you're gonna be seeing me do that a lot later on. We have to actually, you know, worry about score. It's red star, by the way, not that great. Again, I'm sorry I didn't show all of these. Also, the out of bounds is really douchey. It can hit you from above the rooftop, so yeah, not very fun. But yeah, if you're wondering what the best way of handling this is going to be, it's going to be knowing about the specific trick stuff, or just use a specific character to abuse their special trick that is the fastest in the game. Which I am not doing so far. I should be doing it though. Although it's called Revolution, it's really fast, all things considered, and you'll be able to utilize it to really, you know, get your bar glowing. The only reason you would ever abuse it as much as I do way later in the game for myself, which you're not going to be able to see much of, is because I want to get through this fast, and doing a move that quickly refills your bar immediately, that's usually the tactic you want to go for if you want to actually get anywhere with this. Anyway, the guy I unlocked this time is called Roy. He is the Australian of the cast, and how fitting, because our next level, Outback Dam, is the Australian level of the game. All I gotta say about Roy is, for a stereotype, I fucking hate him. He is a terrible stereotype. In fact, I believe a lot of these stereotypes this game has are bad stereotypes. Like, they're just mean in a way. They're very obvious. Also, you can skip that little animation, them celebrating shit by just bailing before you have to go. Our next unlockable is Kukitsune, who is obviously the Japanese of this game. And yeah, Kukitsune is, I believe, another one of the characters that has a fast landing move. The only one that remains after that is basically a character we're playing as the next part. So I mean, there are only 3 characters total that have moves that you're going to give a shit about. Otherwise, everybody else has slow special moves for the most part, and they're only going to be more useful in a sense when it comes to the specific tricks. Which, again, they never tell us about the specific tricks. It only tells you about the regular tricks and the special tricks. it never tells you about the specific slash combo tricks. It just never tells you that. It tells you about the fucking orange bar either. It doesn't even tell you about, you know, what even the fucking electricity you get with the bar sucking away your thing and shit and everything. It's like, the game only really tells you about maybe half what the game has, and then the rest you have to figure out yourself. So unless you have a manual, you know, you're kind of fucked. And I do have a manual, except the manual I have isn't in English, so I could barely understand from there. And even then, even fucking then, the manual does not tell you everything. The manual does not tell you about these specific tricks. I had to make sure on that. This game isn't very well designed on letting you know how the game works. Because usually, for a game that is, you know, very obscure on what it's doing, you know, this sail racing thing, it's very much a very obscure sort of genre to go for. It's not something that you're going to, you know, immediately figure out the first go, you know? It's not like something like skateboarding or BMXing or fucking unicycling or what have you. It's not something where it's, you know, immediately noticeable. It's not like racing games where it's immediately noticeable if, you know, acceleration's the X button, brake is the square button, you can do some fucking handbraking with the circle button or what have you. And, you know, there's also the analog sticks that do this shit. You also have steering wheel controls and stuff like that. There's all of that going on. This game is unique, though, in that it's all about the wind being your acceleration and such. It's all about controlling the wind move forward. It's all about tricks, using 3 different buttons for that. It's all about using your specials, which are all in these 3 different variants on this fucking one button there, the orange bar and shit, and all about gliding and such. When you have unique shit like that, you kinda have to fucking tell the players what's going on, or else half of your game is not going to be, you know, understandable because you're doing shit that no other game's doing. Like, there's things that, you know, you don't have to actually explain that much on. Very basic stuff. It's gonna be very simple for players to figure out. And then there's shit like, use the right analog stick to control the wind so that you can move forward and not over-trim or fucking under-trim and get fucked over by the wind. Or go too slow because of it. Are you really trying to race here, man? It's just... when you realize that, and that's the first thing they teach you, it's like, that's your basic movement in this game. Understandably, because of that, might be a bit fucked, you know? It might be a bit fucked to deal with. Anyway, that's gonna do it for unlocking these characters. Kukitsune is now unlocked, which means that now we're going to take care of the actual race in question, Outback Dam. And this is the beginning of where these wings you've been collecting so far, and the way these levels are designed and such, they really start becoming a mess, and a lot of things, a lot of pieces of the map aren't very obvious because of certain things they do, or because they make it so out of the way. First of all, here is the announcer talking about the map, just for a little bit on some things, you know, exciting ya.
The red hot wind blows over these sizzling shapes of stylized erosion. Rush through Wolverine territory and Koala creeks and see the herds of giant flying turtles. Move in and out of super mundane blue mineral caves and balance on the concrete shapes of the Outback Dam complex. Speed up your vessel and be one with the burning rocks of Down Under next generation.
At the very least, the guy does a good job at pumping you up for the level. It's just, you know, the level in question here, it's not going to be a fun one to actually deal with because of the very fact that it's just douchey.
Yeah, that's double.
So, I want to bring this up right now that it has a lot of big air moments. And it has a lot of alternate paths, like a lot of cave paths and such. If you want to actually, you know, get the bar going, really get things going for yourself, you are going to avoid the cave areas because you might be thinking those are shortcuts, right? They're out of the way. No. More than likely, these are just regular paths, and they are more so going to be kind of clustered, like what just happened there. A lot of shit was in the way. And they're also, you know, going to be longer than the regular path that is obvious to you in front of you. And again, there are a lot of paths. You can go forward to that cave down there, which is short. That's like one of the two only short ones. Or you can go down this path, which gives you a lot of air, a lot of multiplier and such, and it's also where one of the wings are. So yeah, you might have noticed. Also, you might have noticed that as well. Sometimes landing on those fucking things, the game doesn't know how you're landing, and it gets really weird. So you'll end up just like bumping around the place. That is going to get annoying, and it's going to get real shitty, especially when you just want to land your fucking tricks, get your points and shit, but the game has to bump you around and throw you over the fucking place as soon as you try to land. Also, there are two paths here, but one of these paths has two directions to it. I am going to tell you that right now, because the other path is really not noticeable. You see all of this shit around me right now, the fucking floating paths held on by wire, that's a path you have to be on. You cannot land or touch on the rock here, because that's out of bounds. If you land on this, you know, regular sort of like dirt area here, that's fine. But all of this rock here, all this orange rock all over the place and such, you land on that shit, more than likely, you're going out of bounds. Sometimes they're okay, as you saw there, but usually the ones that are okay are actually in the track area, which means that they're just sort of walls, more than likely. Also, there's another wing right there in that little pit, just fly under. Here's a little path here. This path isn't very rewarding. So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, here's the biggest issue. It's the very fact that the game has so many paths, but at the same time it's not very obvious on where to go. Like, right here, you're supposed to go around. That's the main path they want you to go. You could also just go over the fucking wall. The AI will never go over the wall. You can go over the wall. And, yeah, then you get this little area here, which you might be thinking there's another path to your right because of how open it is. No, there's no path here. There's also, like, a fucking lower path, which you're almost never going to go for unless by accident. And there's, you know, all this other shit here, which, you know, this is the main path. Also, there's a whole bunch of those spikes, which, you know, they're just there. Also, I beat the time. Now, I got half the wings. I'm telling you this right now. The other two wings are not obvious. One of them might be if you greatly notice it. One of them you're not going to. And I've already given you the hint on why. Because the rock around here is usually out of bounds. Let me make it more obvious to you. Around the starting area here, there is all of this shit on the left side. You see all that rock on the left side here? You go anywhere near that, that is out of bounds. The game is going to reset you immediately if you touch it. Because of that, that means any of that kind of ground is bad. It's either going to be a wall or an out of bounds. So, obviously, the game doesn't want you to go anywhere near that shit. There is a moment in this game where they decide to fuck you with you on that by having a path that does involve that shit. So yeah, this game is a dick. And it gets worse when you get later on in the game. And they kind of just do this trick a few more times just to be assholes. Now, I think there's only like one or two other wings that are as dickish as this is, or worse. Usually, though, they're not going to be too horrible. But yeah, there's a lot of alternate paths. You are going to stick to like one path mainly. Okay, there's a boost right there, that's great and all. This is much slower even with the boost. So yeah, in case you're wondering, the second path was right there below me. I was looking down a bounce spot, didn't it? Right where the koalas were above it. Looking down a bounce spot. This entire area here is out of bounds spot. I go anywhere near it, I will fucking go off. Like what? Oh, I nearly do it. But yeah, if I go anywhere outside of here onto any of the bedrock down below and shit, I get reset automatically. So, yeah, like there's a lot of fucking area here that I can't get on. And then they're gonna put a fucking bit of area here, looks like it's out of bounds completely, but it's not. It hides a path. That's a dick move. Especially since the fucking AI is very, very rarely gonna go that path. I do mean that. I have seen the AI go in the path in question. However, there's only like one AI that actually goes in the path, and that's usually by complete accident because the AI is just dumb, and they'll just go wherever the fuck they want. They'll get blown off the place usually. Unless they're like in second or third place for me right now, in which case they're gonna be a bit more smarter, but still. Anyway, here's the other path. This is the path the AI is actually taking. And hey, there's the wing right there. Now you've noticed it. You would only notice it if you're actually taking the long way. Which the game is gonna sort of try to force you on the first time to get the wings. And, yeah. Now you have to find a way to actually get that, because now you're gonna fly into that shit. You'll see the way of doing that soon. Anyway, here's this path here. You're never actually go down this path. But if you were to actually go down it, basically it's another way of getting to the exit. It's not very good, but it's another way of getting to the exit. And there you go. That's the entire race to Outback Dam. A lot of paths, but ultimately it's kind of a mess. And once you see the last two wings, it's going to be an even bigger mess. Alright, so this is going to be Dasha's victory cutscene. Get ready for it. I'm pretty sure they're not saying anything with this, you know? I mean, come on. It's not that obvious, you know? They're not being that obvious about what they're doing. Come on, guys. Come on. Stop being so crude. Anyway, Sheamus is next up to race against. This is the, I believe, only time I ever verse another character one-on-one in this level. And every level after this, never, because there are only 2 more characters to unlock now, and I'm going to lock them. Well, actually, there's 1 more character to unlock, I think, and that's going to be in the next part, and it's going to be sort of the cover girl of this game. Like, she is on the cover, she is on the, she's like the main character you're going to be seeing throughout all of this. But, yeah, for the most part, she is the most prominent character. She's also the last character you unlock in the game. We'll be seeing her in the next part, because that's my last character to unlock. But, yeah, after next part, we're not doing this shit ever again. We are not versing a character one-on-one to unlock them anymore. Once I unlock that last character, we are basically done. And from there on out, it's just doing races. And these races don't last very long, as you can tell. They last maybe like, what, 10 minutes or so? So, from here on out, after next part, I'm going to be showing essentially just 2 tracks in total. So, you're not getting 1 track after next part. You're getting 2, and then 2 again, and then it's just gonna be like 3 more parts after that, pretty much. Because there's not many tracks in this game. Also, hey look, I didn't get an out of bounds warning then. Even though it's like an out of bounds error, doesn't it? Yeah, we'll get to that. We will get to that when we get to that. It's really rude. It's really fucking rude what it's doing. Anyway, I'm way ahead of Sheamus right now. I'm going to win. Also, you can tell there's a path over here. That's another hint that there's something off here. So, yeah, I was like big brain questioning. Where the fuck is that path? Why is there like a jump path over there? How do you get to it? It's really not obvious unless you know exactly where it is. And usually you won't know where exactly it is. It's a real douchebag. So yeah, Outback Dam, I'm not a fan of. It's a really mean fucking track to like deal with. Get my energy back immediately. Honestly, if you're going to get through this one, you're kind of going to need to know where the wings are immediately, and then just go for the fastest path from there. Because, just letting you know right now, there's no walkthroughs or guides for this game. This Let's Play, this is your fucking walkthrough. Just want to let you know right now. And a lot of you aren't even going to even play this game. A lot of you don't even have a copy of this game because it's so fucking obscure. But hey, if you really want to play this game, I'm sure you can find some way of playing it. Either from finding a copy online if you're lucky, or from an ISO, and then playing it on an emulator like PCSX2, which sucks. Or you can, you know, use a better fucking thing when it gets closer to being, you know, above PCSX2, like Dobie Station or what have you. Anyway, that's it for the racing here, because also that just fucking happened. But we've now left Sheamus, and from there, all we have left is to unlock our final character, and then we can just focus on racing. So, Sheamus unlocked, and now it is time for me to go forward and just show you what the next level is going to be. Because next time to be Dragon's Ascent.
So, you think you can handle?
So, here you go. There you go. And here are the wings. So, back here, you might notice I didn't get an out of bounds warning as I went close to that ground. That's because that ground there is drivable. You can use that ground. See? If you went on any other kind, like if you went on that ground anywhere else, you would get reset. On this specific area though, it's fine. And inside of here, fly above these bones or what have you, and you'll find the wing here. And then all the way forward from there, if you can get past how claustrophobic this is and how not very fun it is to deal with the wind and such. I believe this is faster than taking the regular route, but you don't get any orange. You don't get any orange bar from it, so if you don't got a booster ready from there, it's not going to be that great. And even then, you have to control through a rather claustrophobic path. And also this path right here, which I guess is also faster, but again, No big jump, no big points, no big score to go on. Unless you have a special going on then, or else you kinda don't get much from that. And lastly is me getting the wings here, which requires me to essentially jump off that little angle there, and then just fly through the pipes to get the wing, like so. You might have noticed as I was going through completing with Sheamus, also that just happened. As you saw for me being Sheamus, the wing wasn't there. I went there beforehand, the wing wasn't there. If you're doing one-on-one races or what have you, the game gets rid of the wings. You have to do it from the actual world race. So, next time we play as Haneska, but here is Roy.
Ready to fry some crooks?
The Australian, and here is Kukitsune.
I was trained by the best.
Japanese, and here is Sheamus. The Scotsman. One character left. She is the Egyptian. We'll be dealing with her later on. But right now it's Haneska time. And we'll be using Haneska, Dragon's Ascent.
When you are.
So, yeah, next time, our final couple character and Dragon's Ascent. Thanks for watching, I'll see you then.